Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan. And what I'd like to do today is to give you all some tips and tricks on how to write a physician's office business plan, as well as how to create a basic financial model that will not only be able to be useful to help identify how many patients need to be served on a daily basis in order to achieve your profits, but it also might be expanded upon later to build your pro forma financial projections, your income statement, your balance sheet, and etc. So with that said, the way this video is going to play out is, first and foremost, going to give y'all a little bit of information about me, who I am, what I do, why I do it. From that point in time, we're going to dive into some tips and tricks on how to write a physician's office business plan. All right, without further ado, let's zip through this handy little PowerPoint presentation. So as promised, a little bit about me, then we're going to talk a little bit about you and your physician office business plan. So I am a business writer, specifically a business plan writer. If y'all want to avoid the trials and tribulations, the fun and excitement of writing your own plan, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text, send me email. I would be delighted to write it for you. Also, if you want some books on writing business plans, I do have some books published by myself on Amazon.com. Check them out. And then finally, a little bit of education about me. I am an adjunct professor and subject matter expert in both business and finance, so I know my stuff. And with that said, if you do need financial projections, since I do have a little bit of experience in finance, if you do want some financial projections done, your business plan's already locked down, I'm ready to go, but those numbers are tripping you up, again, give me a call. Love to help with the financial projections aspect of it. All right, enough about me. Let's talk about the physician office and the business plan that is aligned with that entity. All right, so tip number one, company description. When you're writing your physician office business plan, and I've written more than a few, when you're writing it, make sure to include in there, somewhere in the company description, some of the insurance companies that have already accepted your organization or are close to accepting your organization. When you include some of the insurers, I'm not saying give them a whole list of your insurers, but when you show that you have insurance companies that are ready to refer customers to you or refer patients to you, then that is that's going to support your revenue projections when we do that into your financial projections. Next, when you're writing your company description section, make sure to state if you are a generalist or a specialist. So a generalist might be your primary care physician, whereas your specialist may be an orthopedic surgeon or such. All right, next is going to be when you're writing your physician office business plan, make sure to include some statistics in your company description section, as well as your industry research section. When you include information regarding the industry, for example, the primary care physician industry, right now is a $254.5 billion industry in the U.S. alone, with a revenue growth of 2.7%. When you include that kind of information, and you show it's sourced, you've got references in there as a footnote, doing that is going to add credibility to your document. It's going to show, yes, this is a factual document and you have statistics to back it up. Also, it's going to show that not only are you you do understand your business and how to care for patients, but it also shows that the business writer or the business owner understands the industry as a whole from a business perspective, which is also an important trait to convey to your readers of your business plan. Finally, when you include statistics and you show references in the footnotes throughout your business plan, that's showing that the whole document, like I said, in and of itself is a credible document. But when you get to the financial projections section and your startup cost section, when let's be honest, those are purely guesses. You can do all the industry research in the world that you want, but once you open up your physician office, based on the number of patients you're going to service, based on the area, based on your employees, based on your skills, based on there's a litany of pieces of information you just can't research to justify your financials. But when you put those statistics in there, you're giving the reader a warm, fuzzy feeling, saying, you know what, this document is true. So from that, since all this information is true, then this information for the startup cost and also your financial projections for the next 12 months and the next 5 years, those have a higher likelihood of being accurate, or at least being close. So without the industry statistics, you're not building that foundation to show that your startup costs and your financial projections are going to be accurate. Whereas if you include your statistics, you have a higher likelihood. So it doesn't hurt to include it. Doesn't take much time, and the benefits definitely outweigh the liabilities in that practice. All right, next, tip number 2 is going to be financial projections. So in this little video that I'm doing, I don't have time to show how to, from scratch, create a financial model that's going to predict what your startup costs are going to be, as well as your pro forma 12-month financial projections, as well as your 5-year projections, as well as balance sheet. However, this nice little short, sweet model that I've got right here as an example, it took me about 10 minutes to create. And when you have this model, it's going to help you identify how many customers need to be serviced, as well as the average customer charge or patient charge, what it needs to be in order to achieve the profits, or at least a general range of your profits that you would like to attain. So with this model, the way it's broken up into 3 segments, this is your revenue segment, your monthly fixed cost segment, and then your monthly profit segment. In the revenue segment, we drill down on patients. So how many patients do you need to service on a daily basis in order to achieve your result, your net profits desired. In this example, we'll start with 16 patients with an average patient charge of about $150, and then a variable cost per patient about $7. I mean, for the most part, what you're going to be doing, the variable costs are going to be relatively low, especially for a primary care physician, where it's more of, talking with the patients and ascertaining the illness or referring them out. So your variable costs will be rather low. In this estimate, I've said about $7. In order to get your gross profits, deduct that 7 from the 150 gives us $1.43. And in order to get our total gross profits, we're going to multiply $1.43 by 16, which is the number of patients we're estimating to be serviced on a daily basis. Total gross profits for the organization per day, $2,288. We're going to then multiply that by the number of days that the physician office will be open in a month. We're going to estimate 24. Gives us monthly gross profits of $54,912. We're going to then take that monthly gross profit, stick it down here into our monthly profit section, and we're going to tackle our monthly cost. For the monthly cost, we're going to go ahead and identify what our leases, our labor, utilities, marketing, supplies, accounting, legal, insurance, and the miscellaneous. All those wonderful little costs added together, I'm estimating for this hypothetical situation, $35,750. Once we get our monthly fixed cost, we're going to plug that number right below the monthly gross profits. And once we do that, we're then going to deduct that number, $35,750, from the $54,912, gives us a net profit of $19,162. So what does all of these numbers mean to us? What these numbers mean to us is once we have this model constructed, then as a physician office owner, all we have to do is focus on serving 16 patients a day with an average patient charge of $150. And if we get 16 patients in our office on a daily basis with an average price of $150 per patient charge, and we're able to control our cost, then we're going to have net profits close to $19,000. If that's not enough, if we want our net profits a little bit higher than $19,000, then what we do is we take a look at our number of patients serviced as well as a per patient charge, and we start messing with those numbers until we identify how many patients we need to service and what the average patient charge needs to be in order to achieve our net profits. So this is a nice, succinct, strong model that helps us identify the patient service, the average patient charge, and then how much our net profits are going to be. And then once we have that constructed, we just focus on servicing the patients, and everything else should take care of itself as long as we keep our costs in line. All right, with that mouthful out, let's go ahead and summarize, wrap it up, and put a pretty little bow on it. So in summary, when you're doing a physician office business plan, try to stay away from those generalized templates. You could go to the SBA website and get a physician office, or you can go to the SBA website and you can download just a generalized template that's good for a physician's office, as well as a airplane manufacturer, a restaurant, and even a farmer. So once you have that template, now you need to figure out what you need, what you don't need, and it might take you longer to work through a template like that as compared to just starting from scratch. So be careful when you're trying to use those generalized templates. Next, make sure to keep the star of the show as the business. All too many times, I'll get a dentist or I'll get a physician or a surgeon. They'll send me over their business plan, and the business plan tells me, all the wonderful things that they do and all the wonderful things, where the places they've been, and the patient's service. And by the time I'm done reading it, I have no idea what the business is going to look like. I have no idea how many employees they're going to have, what the projected revenues are going to be. The business plan needs to be well-rounded. So make sure to keep the star of the show as the business. Yes, you do want to keep a bio of the owner, and you want to go ahead and talk about the historical aspects of what you've done previously in the resume section, but don't make that the business plan. Make the star of the show, like I said, as a physician office. And then finally, if you need a little bit of help doing your financial projections for your physician office, please pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. Or if you want me to go ahead, just do the financial projection segment for your physician office, be delighted to do that as well. And so let's wrap this up real quick. Again, if you do want to go ahead and have my services, just go to qualitybusinessplan.com/business plan prices. Plenty of different packages available. And then finally, if you do want to write your business plan yourself for your physician's office, but you do want a template as a guide, I do have a business plan that is customized for the physician office industry. It includes a Word document, which is just fill in the blanks, as well as you can add more content to the structure that I've already got placed in for you. And then also it has a financial model that is built in, customized for the physician office industry. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you like it, give me a thumbs up on YouTube. As always, go out and make a little bit of money. Thank you.